Dilip Kumar Saab and Dr. Krishnan was mentioning also how competent we are so important at this point of time. After 4 years of study, yes, knowledge is so important. We say that knowledge, skill and attitude, which is more important, probably knowledge, skill and you will acquire, but attitude we cannot change. So that you need to change. You need to, unless you want to change, nobody else can change your attitude. And all the time there is scope. Let me tell you, many times we feel I am a topper. Okay, I have scored 9.5, I have the best in the class. Sometimes proud, I feel proud, okay, nobody else can beat me because I am the topper. I also have the best student because I am good in sports. I also sing well, dance well. I am a best student in some. We feel proud sometimes, but let me tell you, these people maybe when you are in the college, they may be admiring you, but the day you go out from the college, people, if somebody give example of you, they will say, okay, that boy or that girl, okay, he has scored well, but he was different. He used to feel so proud about his, that they would give a better picture of yours. Let me tell you, they say, we say no, in Sanskrit they say, Agada jala sanchari rohita naiva garbhita bandusha jala matrena safari parparayate. Understood? This is related to fishery, that's why I told. Rohu fish remains in a deep water, isn't it? In a pond, even if few tons of rohu is there, people will not be able to know that so much of rohu is there in the pond. But if there is a small vessel, you keep a safari means small like rasgura. If you keep, all the time they will be moving, showing that I am here. I am here. So don't get pride or take, you become so that you feel proud that I am the best. I am the best. All the time we say vidya, whatever knowledge should make you a different person, make you a soft person. That is what is important at this point of time. But don't feel that you will be remaining all the time reaching, I am a graduate, I am a topper, or postgraduate, PhD holders. I need the job only in the UOPP or FAO, or try to, if whatever the opportunity comes, try to grab this opportunity and then try to go one step and one step. Everything will not come. If you get something good, yes, you are fortunate to go there, no problem. But nothing to feel bad for having a small job. That is what Rabindranath used to, Tagore used to say. Bada hote chao jodi choto ho aage. Isn't it? If you want to become big, first be small, then you can grow. There is nothing wrong. But if you are confident, nothing to feel shy also. I am talking, nothing to feel shy that you do not know anything. Like Shankaracharya had told, Shvaham, I am the Almighty, I am God, I am the last destination. Isn't it? So nothing to feel bad also. If you are confident, why not? Why not? So please, try to have introspection. Introspection need not be on the exam time. How much you have studied, you will introspection you will do after the result comes. Introspection can happen daily basis, daily evening, daily night. Before you go to the bed, please think what you have done today, what you have studied today, what you have learned from your teacher, what you have learned from your colleagues or students. you have all those opportunity. I am sure in 3 days of your stay here, you will learn so many things. Because I am sure by now you are socialized more with the other states. You must have enriched with several knowledge of other college, what is happening, or their culture, their food, so many friendship you must have met. I am sure out of 200, another 50 will be there next year here, Dr. Ravi Shankar, for their master degree. I am sure all of you know, and good thing is that the seat numbers are also increasing. CIFP is increasing 15 or 25% of seats. Besides the 4 other places, we are starting master degree program: CIFA, CIBA, CIFRI, and CMFRI. CIFA and CIBA for aquaculture 10 seats in aquaculture each. CMFRI and CIFRI 10 seats in FRM. 5 seats in all these colleges, PhD seats. So you will have enough scope. But there will be no fellowship probably. Only the fellowship, even this at CIFP, now whoever comes at CIFP, they must be getting fellowship. But this will not be remaining relevant tomorrow. Only few scholarship will be available for toppers. So each one of you, how you become toppers is important. So competition, how do you compete among your friends is important for you. When you compete, there are 2 advantages. One is if 10 seats are there with fellowship, that fellowship number will not increase. But when you do competition, you will study more. So knowledge level of all will go up, definitely. So I am sure in coming days will be good time for all of you. I am really optimistic. Please forget what I told in the beginning. You are best. You are best. You are best. That's why you are here, isn't it? You are best. That's why you are here. But you need to prove all those perceptions of ours, bad perceptions. What is bad, you know? All those perceptions what we have, or vice chancellor have, or teachers have in each of the college, you need to prove all their perception wrong. That today's date, students are not disciplined, that perception you should make it wrong. Today's date, students are not interested for study, you need to disprove it. Today's date, people are more interested looking at mobile, you need to prove or disprove. I am not saying what you will do or not. So if I say disprove, which you will not do, which you will not do, so that continue using, but judiciously. That is what I would say, because in the mobile it is also equally important. Today date, if you don't use your mobile, probably you are laggards. We will consider it a laggard, because the knowledge available in the public domain today is much higher today. The expectations from each one of you, so much of expectations we have. The challenge this sector is facing today, another 2-3 minutes, sir. The challenge this sector is facing today are so enormous. I do not know how you will be able to cope to these challenges and overcome these challenges. You need to take this sector forward. Yes, I will be speaking in the next hour about the sector, but the challenges are many. We have done so well. We have not only in the fisheries sector, whole agricultural sector, we have done so well, you know, whether it is in agriculture, crops and all, you know, 50 million tons to 315 million tons of food grains production, 30 crore people we are not able to feed, 7 decades back. Today the problem, all of you know, today problem is problem of plenty, and that is the major issue today. We are not able to manage our harvest, the post-harvest losses, the challenges what we have today. The challenge before you are so much, wherever the sector you would like to go, whether government job, the industry, self-employment, for everything, you need to be at your toes all the time. You need to be all the time looking at the future, the challenges what we are likely to face today. For example, today when we say that aquaculture is growing very fast in India, probably much higher rate than many other countries, maybe freshwater aquaculture is growing so fast. What whether the same scenario will be there 50 years ahead? We do not know. Why we do not know? Whether the water will be available or not. The freshwater, when the freshwater scarcity of what you know, India is becoming a water scarce country. In that case, whether water will be available for aquaculture or not, we do not know. If at all it will be available, at what cost and what quality, we do not know. The resources what we have been speaking, the pond resources, that is what we take the pride, okay, so much of pond resources. Whether the pond will be there tomorrow with the urbanization and other industrialization happening every places, we never know. We have been talking of, for example, okay, we are doing extensive farming, semi-intensive farming, we will go for super intensive feed and all, we will use balanced feed, etc., etc. Perfect, fine. From where these ingredients will come? These are maize, soybean, etc., etc., fish meat, etc. From where these resources will come when our resource at the country level is at 140 million hectares is almost finished. If I am going to, this year I want to increase my production of millets, whether I go for the other type of cropping system, or I need to reduce the area under the rice, wheat or maize, I need to, because those area is not going to increase. The challenges will remain all the time. The competition between intersectoral competition between the fisheries, poultry sector, the same resources, whether it is maize or the fish meal, you will be competing with our sister resources, our other sectors. So all the time with the issues of climate change, with the issues of AMR issues, antimicrobial resistance issues, with there are thousands of disease issues and so forth. You need to be driving this sector. You need to be driving this sector of fisheries and aquaculture forward with all those challenges. How competent you are, how innovative you are, how out of box thinking you are able to do, that is what remains relevant to today. To think, you need to take this, you need to be driver. For example, you are taking a ship, you are a captain of the ship in the deep ocean. If something goes wrong, how do you face these challenges of a storm? How do you take the challenges of something else and drive this ship to take to a safe destination? It is you only who need to take decisions in the difficult situations. So friends, we are confident, even though I told several things, and I told forget all those things, we are optimistic, we are confident that students like you only can do it. We have become obsolete. Let me tell you, another 2-3 years after we will go. So it is you need to be the driver of the sector. So as I told, you need to think what you can do is more important for the sector, for your college, for your for maybe university is so important at this point. Dream big, that is what I say all the time, dream big. And only dreaming is not will not do. You need to have a roadmap made. You know the expectations and aspiration of your parents, aspiration of your younger brothers and sisters, maybe even the villagers. The expectations they have from you are so important, and why do not they have expectations from you? Many of you must have come from the village, and all of you may not be coming from the landlord family. most of you must have, most of you, I do not know, some of you may be from the Jamindar family, I do not know, but most of you may be from the middle class families and all. So, and for your study, the family must have had several dreams for you. So try to satisfy, their dreams, how their dream will come true, it is up to you. What path you will take is so important. That is what I was telling. Anyway, I was a bit harsh, that's why all are silent, at least listening or not, I do not know, but people are not moving this side at that side. Thank you very much for your good discipline. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for your wisdomful words. And as you rightly said, taking decisions and setting priorities right in life is very important, because one good decision can really change your life. Thank you, sir. So now, since Dr. Zilip Kumar sir is back, so I request our director to present a memento to our DDG sir. And to Dr. Zilip Kumar sir. Thank you. And to Dr. P. Krishnan sir. Thank you very much, sir. Now I request Dr. B.P. Nayak sir to present formal vote of thanks.
Thank you, Neha. Most respected dignitaries of the dais, my friends, deans from other colleges, HODs, scientists, students from other institutes, our students, staff members of CISD, and all those who are present here. It's an honor as well as privilege to present a vote of thanks. First of all, we are very happy and honored with the presence of DDG Fisheries, and he, as you know, been our mentor and being at the head with the policy makers and ministers in the ministry. So the kind of range he has got and vast knowledge, field level practical knowledge, and he keeps moving all the while at his age untiringly, and his presence itself is so great for us. Thank you very much, sir, for taking time, and thank you. And I'm sure students are blessed to be interacting with you yesterday, today, and whenever they get time. Thank you very much, sir. Dr. P. Krishnan, though he was our student, but then, you know, he marches ahead, he does very good work, and already, as described, he's been making good changes. And we have been supported in many ways, intellectual level, by his presence, his interactions. He also guides some of our students, and it's been, we are very lucky to have him in that position and be linked with us. And every occasion he makes it a point to be with us. Thank you very much. I thank the deans. I can see Dr. Kavita, other deans, Dr. Shingare, Dr. Karatmon. If I missed anybody, so please excuse me. But then all of you having come here, and blessed. I'm very thankful to our Director and Vice Chancellor. He is the backbone of all these programs, and he not only initiates, he also sees to it that he monitors every program are conducted well, and he is so well linked. So he is always with us in communication, is always live. So because of that, the staff and students, the committee members have been able to perform all these this kind of programs, large programs, very well. Thank you very much, sir, for being. And Dr. Sahu, I must tell that during his tenure as Dean, we had started the first Dean Convention. When he is a great planner, he also sees future, he's always excited about new things, so new programs get added up. Though we are stressed with new programs, but still we enjoy also presenting them to you. And this convention also many new things we are initiated, and as part of this planning, it's been a great support, and most importantly, he is the Nayak PI, which has supported with money. This, he has given a lot of money from Nayak project for this program. You can see that, and that's very important, which could support the students' travel, kit, and few other things. So, thank you very much. Then, as I said, my other heads of the divisions, of course, deans of colleges, heads of the division, principal scientists, staff, and students of the institute, I thank you. The most important is the participants, and thank you all for giving a great performance yesterday. And we are looking forward to a great competition today, afternoon interaction session, and of course, I think your idea presentation on climate change in the form of model that we will be seeing. So thank you very much for your, not only you, your deans for overwhelming support, having come here. I know that last moment many of you had not found ticket and you came on Tatkal, and it will not put up in a very comfortable accommodation, but then, you know, it's the spirit of students. You will not remember how many mosquitoes have bitten you, but you will definitely remember that how you interacted with your friends, you spent these 3 days with us. And thank you very much for that, and looking forward to much more interaction today afternoon, and some of you will be here tomorrow afternoon. Thank you very much, and I also take this opportunity, I also take this opportunity to thank all our technical staff, technicians who are monitoring the camera, audio visual, and everything. So thank you to each one of you in this hall, and who are also supported from outside, not in the hall. Thank you very much. So, just a small announcement. So, you will be thank you.
Thank you, sir. We are running just 1.5 hours behind the schedule. So we break for tea. The tea is arranged outside the auditorium. We'll have a quick tea break and we'll reassemble back here in the auditorium. And then we will have our inaugural talk by our respected Jena sir. So, 10 minutes break. Okay. So, we will start by 12:30. So please go and have your tea and please come back. Thank you.
दादा भाई
A very warm afternoon to one and all. So welcome back. Now it's time to hear from our respected Deputy Director General Dr. J.K. Jina sir, and his inaugural talk is based on the topic Indian fisheries in next decade, vision and way forward. So I request Dr. J.K. Jina sir to please come here and start his presentation. Please.
आगे आ जाइए. What happened? Last two rows come to front.
Please come forward. Please. आगे आइए. Occupy this.
आगे आने के लिए तो कंपटीशन होना चाहिए था.
Occupy this.
पीछे से एडवांटेज क्या है, कभी भी जा सकते हैं.
आइए आगे आ जाइए.
हमारी जनरेशन में आगे बैठने की
Let it come. First of all, I would profusely thank the Vice Chancellor and Director of this institute, Dr. Ravi Shankar, and Joint Director, and all those who are involved in making arrangements for this convention, for the opportunity that you have given to me for a presentation. And the topic I have not selected, let me make it clear. This was the topic for which I was asked to speak, and it is quite obvious. When you have a convention like this, you have a diverse student from different colleges, different part of the country. Even though you have been studying on fisheries and aquaculture over years, maybe many of you are postgraduate PhDs and all, you must be coming across with all those what I would be speaking. But it is all the time good to hear the perspective for other things. And what I will be presenting is not what I think, what probably many of you think, many the sector thinks, but all the aspiration of the government, aspiration of the higher ups. So all those aspects I will be speaking. Friends, all of us, as I told, I do understand. You have heard me in the morning, half an hour, again after tea in the same person, hearing the same person is very difficult all the time, isn't it? But you do not have any other option because you have to hear me. Okay. Because it is taking bit time, so I should be also spending some time. Okay, it has come. No, okay, that's okay. Oh, gone. Okay, friends, all of us, as I told, we take pride to be associated with a sector, a food sector, isn't it? Food is a first priority for all of us. When we say any animal, food is first priority. So obviously it is for us also. When you look at the civilization over the years, probably the human being started learning or using or as a food, they probably, fish was one of the major commodity when people started eating something before agriculture. If you see the previous history of agricultural growth and all, probably people started using fish much earlier than started using the cereals, rice, wheat, etc., etc. So our history goes very far. The example I give many times, or the same example I would also like to give. When we see the history of use of fish, all of us know, we used to give we have all of us studied that B.G. England book, Fish and Fisheries of India. There we used to see Arthashastra, it was spoken in Egypt, pyramid or whatever, it was written over all those things, how China people started using fish and aquaculture and all those history we learn. But those histories are only about 3000 or 4000 BC, isn't it? Only 3000 BC. That means about 5000 years back. Even you know the Mahabharata is, Mahabharata was fought about 7000 to 10,000 years back. Those times also you know that how fish was used as a commodity by people, that Ashwagandha, Matsyagandha, all of you must have heard. A publication which had come in about 2010 or 11, I don't remember. That was the best publication I see where people started using fish as a food. The publication was in PNAS. The study was some skeletal remain of Tibet area. They found inside the ice, snow and all, they found a skeleton of a human being. Then when they started analyzing that skeleton of a human being through a radioisotopic study, they found the skeleton was of a young, strong young man, and the strong young man age was about 40 years, and they found at 40 years of age that young man had consumed a lot of freshwater fish, and that skeleton was about 40,000 years back. So 40,000 years back, at the age of 40, that gentleman had used a lot of fish, freshwater fish. That means people of 1,000 years back also knew that fish is something that we need to eat. Okay. Probably much before. So the question comes to our mind whether fish will be available for tomorrow for all of us. Some of the publication also you must have seen few years back, whether fish from the ocean will be available for us to consumption or not. There is a question mark. People ask so much of question mark in that. And we have seen also over the years how disaster happens. Biodiversity, there has been huge biodiversity losses, and at a time when the issues like climate change, on which you will be speaking in the afternoon, each one of you will be deliberating, when we are talking of climate change, is an obvious phenomena which is going to happen. Whether fish will be available for all of us or not, we do not know. So it is time for us to, people like you need to think much beyond the pace at which there has been change is happening in the ecology and so forth. So anyway, I think computer is ready now. Yeah. So nothing new thing I am going to speak. All of you know how fish has been used as a, I was telling how fish is using as a protein, how food or nutrition today. When we talk of use of a fish, we don't speak to the people. And that is what in the inaugural speech also somebody spoke, how you will see that the consumption of fish increases from 5 kilo or 7 kilo whatever to the level of 20 kilo or so at the international global level and all. So how do you take that? The message is important. That is what every time people say, you should give advertisement like egg, rose hang and all. So it is time for us to take the message that fish eating is something different, a fish is something good, better than other food is so important. We consider today fish is not only as a nutritious food but also a health food. That is what is important at this point of time. We know how fish has been using as different industrial nutrition so and so forth, all of you know, because you can read faster than me. I am not going to read all those what we are going to speak. And we need to give a value. That is what is important. Same thing, for example, if anyway fish we are consuming, fish is a food. But at the same time, if we can give the value, some value to that same fish, probably the acceptance will be much higher. For example, some of the Southeast Asian countries, people say if you are keeping arowana or something at your home, you will get maybe you will get richer or something, you will get pride and so forth. That means they are adding a value to that fish besides over and above the feed value or ornamental value and something like that. So it is important how do you evaluate or give a more value to that fish is important for you to think. All of you please think how do you give a value to that fish. And fisheries, how fisheries is important, I do not need to mention, whether all the time we say food security, income security, so and so forth, export, etc., we have been talking, and how it has been helping us not only for the food security, etc., but also biodiversity and environmental upkeep and all of you know. As I told fish, how you take this message of fish as an important commodity. This is not something I have been telling as a fish as a superfood. FAO has recognized fish as a natural superfood. So it is for you, it is more advantageous for you because FAO is somebody who is telling that fish is an important superfood. The Howard Medical School consider that is one of the superfood, 10 superfood available at the earth. So how do you take this message of superfood taken to the people are important. With the consumer preference changing, maybe at home people better consume. For example, when you compare with the South Indian states with the North Indian states, probably you have seen the consumption is much higher in the South Indian states, not in the northern side, whether it is UP or Himachal Pradesh or this side Rajasthan, Gujarat, we know the people consumption of fish is not there at this point of time. And we are in a, even though we know that fish is an important source of protein or health food, etc., what we say, but when we say that about 60% of the people in the India only eat fish, so how do you take this message to the others, those 40%, if not 40%, can we add another 5% more or 10% more? Will the consumer preference changing? And all of you know what is the bottleneck? Probably we need to analyze all those bottlenecks and have a strategy. For example, I am a voracious fish eater. 3 times I eat fish, but I missed the opportunity of tasting the fish yesterday because yesterday was a Monday. I believe in Shiva. Somebody believe in maybe Shanidev. Thursday, Tuesday, Saturday will not take, ladies will not take on Thursday. Then 1 month, Kartik month, in Odisha people don't take, other places, Dasara time they don't take. So, India, when you talk of consumption pattern in India, vis-a-vis consumption pattern in many other countries, It is so different. And many places we say, okay, we only consume fish which does not have a spine. Many people do not know within the I think should we forget this and maybe that would have been also good if you think that okay, leave about that. When we consider again how do you take this message forward, when we say that fish is important, is better food than others, we need to prove. People will not just accept whatever you speak. Okay, how do you prove? So, only proof, for example, today you see it in the advertisement and TV, Horlicks, it contains EPA and DHA. What is that EPA and DHA? From which source it comes? Unless you prove that, or you will say that, okay, fish is a complete source of protein with maybe lysine and a high amount of lysine and methionine, that is what all the time we say. Okay, if it is lysine and methionine is there, how it is advantageous over plant-based protein? So you need to prove with some fact and figure. Unless you prove with fact and figure, nobody is going to accept. So you need to have enough data are available, but how do you take this information is so important. That is what when we talk of global consumption pattern vis-a-vis India's consumption pattern and all, you will see last few years, last 6 decades, if you see the growth, consumption has gone from 9 kilo to 20 kilo, in spite of the fact that the population has grown so much over the years. In spite of that also, there has been increase in growth much higher than the double than that of human population growth. I don't intend to show these facts and figures what you have that you have already. My intention is to speak about that. If you look at the capture fisheries growth and all last 4 decades, if you see the statistics of last 4 decades, the production from the capture fishery has not gone up from 90, it is hovering somewhere around 90 to 93, 94, 95 million ton, it is not going up. And when you look at again the coming decades, for example another 10 years ahead, by 2030, that is the target to be set, we wish that we need to have at least additional 26 million ton more. If we want to have that additional 26 million ton, from where will come? So the target is 27 million ton has to come from aquaculture. That means capture fisheries production is going to go down. It is not going to go up, rather it is going to go down. So what would be our strategy to have the 27 million ton? And which countries should be working on that? And India is one of the major countries who everybody is looking at. If you look at the China growth and all, if you will find the growth rate, production is increasing in China, no doubt about it. But if you see the growth rate in production growth rate in China is going down and down over the years, whereas India has been able to contain that growth pace even today also. Looking at 2030, the SDG goals, sustainable development goals that everyone speaks at this point of time, And out of 17 goals, this sector like fisheries, where we will be able to make a mark, all of you will know. But at least 2, 3, 4 important goals, like goal number 1, no poverty, no hunger, well-being. Goal number 1, 2, 3, and goal number 14 and 15. Probably this sector need to contribute immensely. When we talk of hunger, we talk of malnutrition, this is a sector we need to contribute. But probably whether we are going to achieve by 2030 or not, the target will remain relevant even in 2040, 2050, 60, 70, and the target will remain relevant for all the time to come. And so, in this context, how the sector like fisheries and aquaculture will be able to contribute is so important at this point of time. Again, when you talk of, we are not, till today we are talking only on sustainable production, sustainable utilization, all those buzzwords we have been able to use over the years. But today, what we are talking of blue transformation, which is so important today, it is not only the production, it is the food system is more important. It is not only production system, the transformation of the food system is important. That means whole value chain from production to consumption. That is what we call the farm, farm to plate. That is what we used to say at this point of time. How do you take farm to plate is so important at this point of time. So when you talk of blue transformation, it is not only we need to talk of sustainability, we need to be talking of resilience, how we like to see our system is resilient to everything, resilient to climate change impact, resilient to any sort of adversities is so important. And we want to see also the growth is inclusive. We don't want our production is only there by the industrialist. We need to see that how the fishers who are residing in the coast, residing and the on the adjacent of the rivers, or those who are inhabitant of the periphery of a reservoirs are also getting benefited. So inclusive growth is so important. We know the some of the sector like mariculture, for example. We have been talking of the livelihood security and all, but we know that if we want to have a sectoral growth of the mariculture, cake farming and all, we need to bring in industry, definitely. But at the same time, you cannot leave the coastal fishers definitely in the coming years. So when you talk of again Indian fisheries and fact and figure, all of you know. I don't intend to give this fact and figure which all of you know. But it is something, it helps us when we see this graph, it gives us some strength. It gives us strength, yes, we have been able to go this phase of growth. So probably if tomorrow whatever adversities come, the graph is not going to be in the lag phase immediately. It will grow in the same pace at least for a decade or so, or 2 decades or so. So there is no risk, at least when you are talking of the 10 years, there is no risk at all for us that climate change will suddenly impact and tomorrow the production will go down. Definitely those risks are not there at this point of time. But when we talk of again the export and all, I will be speaking on that. What are the major issues? What should be our strategy? It is not the production is only important. There are many things which is more important than the production. Production will be able to achieve, but at this point of time, probably it is more important to see the market, whether our people are able to absorb the production whatever we have. For example, people like us, those who are fish eaters, we like to, for example, I am taking 10 kilo in a year. If I am given fish like 2 kilo, 2 rupees rice, probably it is very easy. If tomorrow 2 rupees fish is given, I am sure consumption will increase from 6 kilo to 60 kilo. Definitely, yes. But even though I like to eat fish, whether even the fish is available at my doorstep, whether I am able to afford to purchase the fish, I do not know. Probably my pocket whatever there in my pocket, it is fixed amount. I have several strategies. I have to definitely purchase fast roti and chawal definitely to cheap mein mil jayega. But I have several strategy. I have to purchase something for my kids. I have to invest for future of my kids. That is purchase for kids I have to get and future for kids. That is the first priority of any parents, isn't it? So after leaving that, there is little money remains for investment towards purchasing fish. And all the time, when we used to study fisheries 35 years back, all the time any paper we used to read fish as important source of protein. Is it so? Fish is an important source of fish is the cheapest source. No, important definitely. Fish is the cheapest source of protein. I am sure none of you will agree it is the costliest source of protein. Today the pomfret which was available this size has come down this size. Still it is 700 rupees per kilo. If what is that seal fish or kingfish whatever, not less than 1000 rupees and any places, or even the freshwater fish whether morels, pabda, etc. at any cost. Probably that Pabdaceous remain cheapest. Tilapia at present, probably tomorrow we do not know. So it is not a cheapest source of protein. We need to think for future how do you strategize to provide this fish is a cheapest source of protein. Yeah, all this product. The composite culture technology or shrimp farming technology, feed and disease management technology. Being a scientist, each one of us like to take credit that all this happened because of the research what we did. Yes, that has been a contributor definitely, but it is the development which has been done, the dissemination which was done by whoever done. Whether it is done by college, done by department, done by each one of you, all those dissemination has also, for example, different programs like Lab to Land program or ITRC program, several, Dilip Kumar Saab is here, he was involved with all those programs. For example, the program like Lab to Land program, the coordinated research project, even though it was in few places demonstration, that helped. It was not the technology only, the small demonstration done here and there has contributed to the bulk. The policy, small intervention at policy level, the investment which are done by the enterprise, fisheries sector is one sector, probably the investment from the government sector has been quite low, except that of the harbour, etc., etc. Otherwise, if you look at the aquaculture sector, the investment has been primarily it has been by the entrepreneurs only. So when we look at the next 10 years, 20 years and all, we know what are the areas we need to focus. We know the marine case is stagnating, but still there are options which I will be speaking. We need to be speaking on aquaculture, how horizontal, vertical and all we will be doing, we will be discussing all those. And some good, definitely good experience. All the time we take pride that our export has been at the level of about 7,000 crores, about 16% of the agriculture export we have been able to achieve. Maybe last year and this year growth has been substantial, more than 25% growth rate above. But can we sustain it? Can we sustain it? That is what is important. And today, if we again analyze what are the major contributors, it is the shrimp. 35,000 crores to 40,000 crores only shrimp export we have been. Who are the consumer of this shrimp? What do we export? US, European Union, Japan, maybe China, some here they were importing, Vietnam was also importing for a few days. If you again consider who are the major exporters of in the globe, Ecuador, who is all the time your competitor of you, what is their market? Same market. Every country, it is not you only want to produce more. Every country want to produce more, and every country want to export to USA, and you must have seen the population of many European countries is going down. Who will be the consumer? The same people will be the consumer. Their population growth is not there. If today, and you don't expect those people, their consumption will become double. India's consumption can be fourfold if money is given to them. Your income increases. If your income is $2,000 at this point of time, the average income of Indian at this point of time, $2,000. Whereas on an average, the income of European Union countries are about $40,000, $40,000 to $50,000. US is about $50,000 to $60,000. Even their income increases double, the consumption is not going to double because they are having enough money to purchase at this point of time. Tomorrow, even if the income becomes, that is what we have studied, elasticity of demand, all of you have studied in the economics. Even if your income doubles, this salt consumption is not going to go up. That is what the example of the time the economists those they have given us. So their income, even though increases, the fish consumption is not going to increase because money is not a constant for them at this point of time. So tomorrow, the market becomes more important for export. Definitely it will be a challenge before us in the coming years. मुझे बोलेंगे कि कब बंद करना है because otherwise I will continue. Okay. So I will skip some of the slide. As I was talking of the consumption pattern in different parts of the country, coastal states, vis-a-vis other states, but definitely we can increase our consumption pattern. If you look at it, those who are from the northern India, I know for sure, even Dilip Sahab will agree also, I am sure. I was in Lucknow, we used to have some conference. When we used to have conference, 200 people, I used to ask how many vegetarian will be there, how many non-vegetarian, because food we have to arrange. Then everybody used to say, no sir, only about 20%, 30% people will eat fish. Nobody will eat fish. Let me tell you, I found 80% of the UP people ate fish. And fish was over after some time. Because they don't get fish at their home, but when they are outside, they eat fish. Because all of you know, the ladies, they don't eat fish or they don't cook. And even they like to cook, getting processed fish is difficult. So many people love to eat fish. They don't get opportunity to eat fish at home. So only they eat outside. And with the new generation, with our kids and all, even though who are vegetarian, they are started eating fish. So how do you take this consumption product, ready to eat product? That is what is important. Focus area should be tomorrow. May not be ready to cook. Ready to eat should be the future for even at home. Even though it is not cooked, definitely people will like to eat those. Anyway, this fact and figure you don't need to write down, or if necessary, I do not know. It can be a PDF can be printed and given a copy to everybody also, if they like to have, if anyone like to have. The issue, the main thing what I intend to show here is, for example, with the resource what we have with the EEZ, continental shelf and all, the number of the vessels what we have at this point of time, more than 2 lakh of motorized mechanized vessels, which is much higher than the potential fisheries what we have. So even if we know that the number is much higher, we need to reduce. Probably it is not that easy to reduce. So what is the strategy we should have for tomorrow? Probably it is for you to take a decision. Many of you will be going to the state fishery department and all. You need to have a strategy. What is the strategy for you to be there? We know the issues with us. For example, conservation measures we have. We say no fishing for 60 days. We say maybe mesh size regulation. We say so many things. but implementation of this policy is so difficult for us for the fisheries of the tropical climate. You know, we have multi-species fisheries, more than 1,200 fish species, commercial fish species, and if you have a mass size regulation, probably you will not be able to manage the fisheries at all. So, you cannot compare with the temperate waters like Chile and all the time. When you talk of Peruvian fisheries or Chile fisheries, Peru total Peru only one or two three species major dominant, Peruvian anchovies, all of you know. Or some of the Alaska pollock, or somewhere all of you must have read Peregrina, Chalcogramma, all those things we have read. So they have a specific fisheries contributing to the bulk, but our fisheries is contributed by several other species. And this is, I can skip some of, but yeah, maybe something mixed up. Okay, when you talk about again the potential what I was showing, we say that we have about 2 million tons of potential resources what we have which are not exploited, which are in the deeper waters and area beyond our national jurisdiction, which we have not able to go. All of you know our national jurisdiction is only 200 nautical miles. And we are able to go only about 50-60 kilometers, up to 50 meter depth and all, which all of you know, because we do not have that much of capacity to harvest fish at the deeper waters. So yes, tomorrow we will have those capacity, maybe with the government intervention. Several Dr. Ravi Shankar, when he was there, the director of CIFT, they have developed one meter. When we are not able to harvest, we do not have capacity to harvest that, how do you, even if you have resource, how do you utilize? Only harvesting methodology is not important. Do you have other vessels or containers for multi-day fishing with ice or all those things which country like Norway, for example, or the, for example, the Euphausia superba, Atlantic krill, we have a quota. Even though we are not able to harvest, see, we know what is the potential krill resources available in the total water, about 5-6 million ton. And India has a quota. India can harvest about 1 lakh ton, but we do not have capacity. So probably tomorrow, if you have a capacity of having a vessel, only vessel is not important, even the expertise, the manpower. So how much efficient you are, how much you are skilled, people like you, that is more important for deep sea fishing. You need to guide. You need to guide. That is what is more important in coming days. So you know the issues at this point of time, what we have at this point of time, whether we talk of in our territorial, in our waters, in up to 200 nautical miles or area beyond national jurisdiction, that is what I was talking, and krills about 1 lakh tons and so you need to have a factory vessels. That is what is lacking today, and it is not that easy to manage the factory vessels also. Even in, if you go back to 20 years back, the number of factory vessels what were there 20 years back, number has come down over years. Country like China, Japan, they had several factory vessels, but they had closed because several other problems. The investment what you need to make is quite high. For example, krill fishing. Those who harvest krills, you cannot bring the krills to the shore and get profit. That is not possible. So you need to process the krills on the board offshore and only extract of that, whether it is oil or any other things, you need to bring only those. Then if tomorrow everybody start doing that in the sea of fishing and dump all those waste into the sea, then what is going to happen? So it is not, everything is not rosy. We need to have a strategy, policy when you talk of such deep sea fishing, or when you want to explore the area beyond every NJ. So the challenges, as I told already, skilled manpower from other vessels, etc., which we don't want to mention. So what is that way forward which we like to have in coming days for all those, as I told, large factory vessels or mother vessels, and so on and so forth. Here, my intention is not showing the potential that every day you are reading, isn't it? Every day you know that this is the pond resources, what we have, 2.4 million hectares. But all these, what we call, India is endowed with, that is the word also, another sentence we use. India is endowed with or blessed with huge resources, water resources for fisheries and aquaculture. Is it so? I do not know. I do not know. When you talk of pond and tank resources of India, you will find a large share you cannot do anything. Temple ponds, small kitchen ponds, you cannot leave about other things, you cannot dump cow dung also, you cannot do internship because same water is used for so many other things. So it is necessary for us to have a categorization of these resources, which we have never done last 5 decades. Time has come, that is what probably government is also thinking. We are trying to speak to the government also. It is important for us to have the resource assessment, proper resource assessment is so important at this point of time. For example, brackish water resources. When I am sure Dr. Ravi Shankar also studied, me also studied, same thing. We have brackish water resources of 1.2 million hectares. You are also studying something, isn't it? When it was done 30 years back, 50 years back, is whether all these resources today available for farming? Probably not. Even if it is available, whether government will allow for farming? Probably not. If not, why should you trial it is a resource? It is not resource for us. Only when you say that only 15%, 20% only we are utilizing, people will give only, what do you say, they will blame you that so much of water resources are available, you are not using anything. But we cannot use. We cannot use even if we would like to use. So probably it is necessary for us to have a reassessment of all those, how much we can able to utilize. For example, reservoirs. We say all the time it is a sleeping time. All the time. How long it will sleep, we do not know. And why it is sleeping, we do not know. Because we know that it is not under the jurisdiction of fishery department. We want to do anything, cage culture, we cannot do because it is under irrigation, some under forest, some under something. Revenues, we do not know. So probably the time has come, is it not? That is what the policy makers like Dilip Mansab is here giving advice in the state like Bihar and all. How do you bring those water resources for fishing purpose, for aquaculture purpose to the department? That is what has to be done at the highest level. So that is what, and you who will be going to the department, you will be going to the industry, you need to think and maybe convince to the government. All of you know the institutes and organizations what we have, all those, the number may not be correct, you can add, delete, I do not know. But you know the probably our institutional infrastructure is much better than earlier years. Not only ICAR Institute, you have fisheries colleges, so many KVKs and so forth with NFDB coming in and all those things all of you know. And if you look at the research and development we have done, it is not only people say, what is the development you have done after the composite fish culture or after the induced building technology, fisheries sector has not done anything. Is it correct? Is it correct? I do not know. If I ask you, who has developed television? Can you raise hand? Who has developed television? But nobody knows. बोलिए ना? John Boyd. All of you will agree. Who has invented radio? Marconi. Everybody knows. Whether the John Boyd has seen the LED TV of today, if John Boyd would have been there today, you would have been surprised, you would have asked the same question, who has invented television? Isn't it? See, the process, something starts, but over the years, several invention has happened, several development has happened, and several people have contributed. That's why nobody remembers them. If I ask who is invented LED television, you will tell Samsung or LG. You will not tell the scientist name, no? That is the problem. So, because several people have contributed, same thing. Breeding technology, yes, Hiral Chaudhary Shah, Ali Kuni Shah, all the group have done, composite fish culture people have done, but over the years, several stalwarts, several people have contributed to that. So it is becoming difficult for us to spell the name of who has contributed for what. Otherwise, there has been significant progress, development happened in all sectors of fisheries and aquaculture. It's not only farming or breeding, whether genetics, health, conservation, resource management and all. If I say who is the resource management best resource, what is the best resource management one has done? Probably it is difficult for us to understand, but people have contributed to this development over the years. When you talk of again open water, what time we should close? 2 o'clock? जब बोर हो जाते हैं तो बोल दीजिए, then हम दूसरा कुछ डिस्कशन करेंगे. Okay. When you talk of again the open water fisheries and all, over the years we know we cannot manage our resources. We need to manage our resources. We will be, because the coming days will be too difficult for us. We cannot catch the fish whatever we like. See, for example, difficulty to defend that the whatever harvest we are doing on the European tuna is genuine. The countries who are the other tuna who are investing for tuna catching and all, they say India is harvesting more than the quota India should have. So tomorrow it is not only for tuna, it may come to other species. We do not know. So we need to have information on all those structure and all. Unless we have adequate information with us, probably we will not be able to manage. And today, if you see the total aquaculture we do, giving feed, giving disease management, 1 year culture, whatever investment we do, still return we get profit, definitely. But fishing, what we do? Just take it, go by net, catch fish and come, still it is not becoming economic. Why? Because the fuel cost is so high. So, how to have energy efficiency system and all, that is what the work like on the like potential fishery zone estimate and all becomes so relevant. Because many times we go to the fishing, wondering here and there where the fish will be available. So if we have information with the IT platform, that is what is in the morning, or who are speaking in artificial intelligence and all, with the information technology what we have, we know that here is the place, you go there, you will have a good tuna store. Not only tuna store, maybe European tuna, sea tarantula, or maybe silverfish or something like that. So all those information becomes so important for tomorrow. The hardware technologies and all these things become important. And they were talking over the years, while you see the distribution pattern of the division has been changing also quite a lot. For example, we are talking of climate change and all. If you see the last 4 India map, you will see this distribution of sardine, for example, those who are from Kerala and Karnataka, all of you know sardine is a sort of a species in those areas. Why? Because it was available only in those areas. But today, the same sardine is available not only in Kerala and Karnataka, it is started distribution. You will see good distribution in Maharashtra, this side also, even in the other side, total east coast also. Over the years, the distribution pattern has changed over the years. Okay, thank you so much. Over the years, there has been so much of change in the distribution. So you need to understand. We need to understand what is that change happening in the districts, also in different species of fishery also. The development done in the hardware technology, all of you know the work done by CIFT on different craft and gear designs, etc. With the Satellite Harita, which I was giving an example, you can see Dr. Ravishankar, so leadership in this shoulder. A multi-purpose 12 vessels, what they did. Not only on those but also other devices like auto boats and all, which are the light reduction and all of you know. Today the problem, the issues are many, as I told, issues are many which many of you are not aware. For example, US has imposed a ban for import of shrimp caught from the wild, import of shrimp caught from the wild from India. What is the reason they have imposed ban? They say India has not done enough for conserving the mammals, like tortoise, dolphin, etc. That's why they don't want to import shrimp. See, it has nothing to do with that. But tomorrow, many countries can impose several things. For example, we are exporting shrimp over the years. In between, about 3-4 years back, a team had come from Vietnam. Vietnam was one of the major importer of shrimp at the time. And they were taking shrimp from India and repacking and selling it to China and etc. Because their demand is not that high. They said India's shrimp will import only when the India has enough surveillance program in place. See, so a team had come because of our surveillance NASCAR project. Somehow we could convince, they visited 3 places, Chennai, Kochi and Bhubaneswar. Somehow we could convince because of this. So, tomorrow, the trade, international trade is something very difficult to understand. Very difficult to understand. People can impose anything. You know, when we export, it is not the pesticide residue or only the antibiotic residue only matters. There are many things which matters. Many things. Even this, limit for all those is even the importing country, it is not same for each country. For India they may have something else, for other they may have something else. So, international trade is so difficult, so for you it is very important to understand each and everything, intricacies involved in even the fisheries sector which is so important. For example, the order boards which CIFT had developed, we say that every frog should have order boards. We invention we have done, but at the end of the day, use of this order board depend on the investment done by the industry or the boat owners. Boat owners will say, why you invest 20,000 rupees? I want to catch only shrimp. I have I am not concerned about the tortoise or turtle also. So then government intervention, policy, investment, all those comes in our. These are all something I don't want to mention. The issues and threats what we have today. It is not only the overfishing, whatever we say. The issues are several. Whether it is exotics, whether we are talking of again. For example, mariculture, we are talking of again, for example, inland cage culture and all, escape of carnivores or escape all those things we know. All those are so important at this point of time. Pollution has been a major problem, plastic pollution, microplastic and all. Yesterday some of you in the innovation also you showed how microplastic can be absorbed by the plant, etc. But even if you say this, even if you prove this, okay, algae can be a good absorber or remover of microplastic. See ocean, cold ocean, it is not a pot. Microplastic pollution is happening everywhere. Everywhere. How do you filter, drink, yes, experimentally, pilot scale, you can do, yes, definitely, yes. So probably our strategy should be other way around. We need to prevent, that is what is important. How do you prevent is more important than cure. That is what prevention is better than cure, what we say. Probably in this case also that remains relevant. How do you reduce the plastic is more important to reduce the microplastic pollution, how adversely affecting the fisheries and all. So important. Some of the work done, I am only starting now. It is normally talks and all of you know the status of today, where we stand, maybe 50 to 20 ton top, maybe 40 to 100 ton in the funguses is not a difficult strategy today, all of you know how shrimp farming is happening everywhere, all of you know. And diversification is one which we have been focusing over the years. We are not the same country of 70 years back. Those who are not associated with the fishery, they only blame us that India only work with only a dozen of species. It is not the fact. We have at least 50, 60 species which are at the farm level. Many of the whole country level, India is too big a country, we cannot be talking each one species for whole India. Even one species is adopted by one state, few districts of a state is good enough for all of us. And why we need diversification for all of us? No. When you go to hotel, you ask for a menu card first, isn't it? What do you see? Chicken you want to what do you see? Chicken pakoda, chicken 65, 64, all isn't it? So many, I don't know. Butter chicken, etc. And you opt one of them or two of them. And 1 minute or 100 commercial fish, it is fish only. Is it who is same as that of Vilsa? Or Pabda or anything, it is different. No many more except that of few hotels in Kolkata I have seen, they write Rohu curry or something or Pabda something. Otherwise most of the places you get fish something that to Basha. Isn't it? Most of the hotels Basha and other places it will while you want to have different other fishes. So we as a fish eater, we do not like to eat same fish daily, we like to have different fish, different, or if you like to have 4 different fish in one dish, we like to have 4 different type of Drupal we had had, Drupal, Snapper and all. But today, Pomkia is ruling, isn't it? So never we had thought that Phineas monotone will be replaced by Melanie. All the time we used to say that all those open telegraph spaces will produce tomorrow, we will purchase today. If it is, we are producing somewhere around 6 lakh ton or 7 lakh ton. The day you will produce 10 lakh ton, it is nice, nobody will come down. So probably that is only also today. If another 4 million ton of crops you want to do, you need seed. I am trying to calculate, at least you need about 8 billion figures for which you need about 150 hatcheries. Then the investment will be the minimum investment, capital investment you need to do about 200 crores. Who will do? Where will do? How many, which state? If you ask West Bengal today, they will produce. But we don't want any more hatcheries in West Bengal. We want somewhere else. Which are the states where you need? Today probably state like Chhattisgarh, they are not only meeting their own, but Maharashtra, etc. So probably we need to use those resources which are available at this point of time instead of additional resources are high, additional technologies are high, but at the same time all those technologies like bioblock, RAS, hydroponics, aquaponics, etc., whatever you are telling, that is something additional technology other than whatever the conventional technology you have been using. So all those aspects, it is so important for us how do you judiciously use those resources which are available with us at this point of time. It is not only cars, catfish or any other thing what we, whether it is the photovoltaic sector or trout or other things also equally important for us. Again, when you talk of again, what happened? Disconnected, okay. When you talk again, Brackish water for sector, for example, I was giving example of freshwater. For example, stream, we want to double the production. That is, government of India has set a target that we want to double the export to 1 lakh crores in next 3 years, and we want to double the production. At that time it was 7 lakh ton or so, or today about 1 million ton. We want to increase from 1 million ton to about 1.4 lakh ton. That is the target. Very good. This is given in the beginning. Okay, this all of you know how it is. Today you see the agriculture, but at least 20,000 kgs are operational in different parts of the country. 20,000 kgs produces around 60,000 tons of fish. But mostly Bangladesh, of course in recent years there has been some change in the, initially it was 6 meter by 4 meter kgs of rectangular kgs people are giving, but today I have seen some places 60 meter dia circular cages are operation, and recently I had a discussion with the entrepreneurs. He is having at least 60 cages of such in Hirakul reservoirs producing calves. So future probably we will look at calves as our target basis. Probably we need to look at the river type of cages and so on and so forth. Those who are from Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh and all, trout farming, how important about you know. But today time has come that we also shift from the SUS sort of farming to the circulatory farming. Of course, we know the energy intensive nature of recirculation, but there is a possibility that you parallelly you go recirculation as well as the SUS sort of farming. I will just give you an example of the, how we have grown. From less than a lakh ton to today we are talking about 1 million ton. Today with the diversification we have been able to do. This is what next 10 years we are keeping a target for us. We want to increase another 4 lakh ton of seed. You need seed, you need first place you need seed. For that, the requirement of seed will be somewhere around 120 billion. So I was just trying to assess with the capacity whatever the hatchery we have, this may be able to meet about 100 billion. So the additional 20 billion has to come from the new hatcheries. So if you want to have additional hatcheries, at least 150 hatcheries you need. That investment has to be somewhere around 1,000 crores. So it is people like you, and it is not investment. If 150 hatcheries are there, if each hatchery 4 people they want to keep, 600 people will be technical people will be necessary for tomorrow this sector only for this seed production sector. So important is how confident you are in managing a hatchery. That is what is important. Whether if you are asked to prepare a DPR for a 200 million hatchery, will you be able to do it? That is what is important. If you are absorbed in a feed plant, will you be able to give a strategy that I will import the feed plant from China, Japan or anywhere, you should be able to say. That confidence, all of us, even the scientists like us, we are good in giving advice for small scale. But we are not that good for giving advice for bigger things. See, that is what is important. If somebody say, you establish a feed plant with 500 kilo or 1 ton capacity per hour, we will be able to give. If somebody say that I need 10 ton per hour capacity feed plant, because we have not worked. So the attachment of industry is so relevant. Some industry will come, investment will, they will look at you, who will advise them for marine cage culture. Are you competent enough for working in a deep waters? I do not know. For example, yesterday, Dr. Pinay, I was seeing, he was going for scuba diving or whatever in the Lakshadweep he was showing. So how many of us are even intend to have an intention to learn for scuba diving? Probably many, few. None of us, all of us scared to learn, go into the sea. So probably the because you never know. Like a children, you ask children what you want to become tomorrow. He will change daily. That is what you have. If you see somebody Tendulkar, then you will Tendulkar, next day Shahrukh Khan, next day somebody else. So you also do not know. You have studied fisheries, but you do not know. You want to become entrepreneur today when you took admission, but after 2 years you found your senior has gone to overseas. You change your mind from becoming entrepreneur to going abroad, or vice versa, or government job. Yesterday, and Dr. Ravi Shankar was telling, Odisha nobody was there because everybody got government job, isn't it? Government job, that's why they have gone. Take their previous ambition. If you analyze, many platforms they would have told you, some of them want to become entrepreneur. In the feed industry, we